Glad to have you with us from Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas. Little gets the blood boiling. Quite like a rivalry game. Barbs, shots, trash talk, things that go on throughout the week will now all be settled on this field. And the Rainbow Warriors will put boot to leather, and this will be the start of a new season. Bringing it back. Couldn't find room for the big play. It'll be stopped after a short return. It's a coverage unit right on top of it. So UNLV's offense will get first crack at it today. Blowouts in rivalry games can be the result of a number of factors. Sometimes teams start pressing. Sometimes it just gets away. Sometimes they didn't have the right mindset. The last time they got together, lopsided. What happens this time, David?
But either way, last time affects this time, because all you've heard about is we weren't even competitive. This is a rivalry game, a big-time game. We didn't show up. We dishonored our previous teams and squads, and we've got to do better. That's all they've heard coming into this game, Palmer.
Yeah, David, I think that was the story the last time these teams played. One team handled the emotion of the game better than the other team. You have got to be able to play within yourselves and play one snap at a time. That last game got away from...
Fires one high and deep. Makes the catch down the right side. Finds some room. 10. Touchdown Rebels. Rolled his way into the end zone.
And they talked about his speed all week, but it's one thing to talk about. It's another thing to see it. You see that young man out wide, man. He can fly, and he runs right. Defense, they take a shot early, Palmer. They find the speedster, and he finds the end zone.
And I think the defensive coordinator right now is just kicking himself, because you're right. I mean, they watched film all week long. You've seen this guy torch defenses. You cannot play coverages that allow this guy to take the top off and get behind your back line. That right there is just a big mistake defensively, a bad call. And kudos to the offense for finding the matchup and making them pay.
Wants to throw on first down off the play fake. Catch in the middle, it's Brown. Good call, good execution as they move the chains, and they have a first down at the 38. Here's this offense with a fresh set of downs. Running inside, it's Barfield. And they're able to shove him to the turf as they stop him for a short gain. Didn't get much on first down, it's 2nd and 9. Looking to fire. Throws to the tight end. Got him downfield. And he's brought down after a nice gain.
Well, if you're going to complete these in-breaking routes over the middle of the field, it's really important as a quarterback you don't stare the guy down and tip off where you're throwing the football. He's trying to freeze the safeties in this defense and then throws it on time. Accurate throw, nice pitch and catch.
Now, I know you two never faced off against each other in an actual rivalry game other than the Thanksgiving morning turkey bowl. But knowing you two the way I do and the way you know each other, Jesse, what would you have done to try to throw Pollock off a little bit on a stage like this?
In our opening 10-play script, I would have had David Pollock cut blocked, maybe even double-team high-low, chop blocked on every single play early.
Which is illegal, you bum. That's fine. But that's fine. You know what? I guess in retaliation to that, we would have just roughed the passer over and over, taking the 15-yard penalty. That's what's fun about this, Reese. It's petty. It's sometimes it crosses the line of dirty, but that's why rivalries are so fun.
The Rainbow Warriors with the 1st and 10. Grabbed in the backfield. It's Barfield. Tried to hit him with a quick game on first down, and nothing doing there. Now facing some adversity on this drive after the loss of 4 at 2nd and 14. They just keep firing. Going to take a shot. And they wanted it all on that incomplete pass. Instead, they're looking at 3rd down. This will be the 8th play of the drive, but a great opportunity for the defense to get off the field. On 3rd and long, he'll have to turn it loose deep. Throws to the wideout. Intercepted to stop the threat. Made the play on the pick, was hoping to make one on the return. He'll have to settle for letting the offense pay it off from the 26.
I love the defense's approach on this drive. They didn't panic. They gave up some yards, but what did they do? They forced a third down, a predictable situation, played great discipline, broke on the football, and forced the big interception.
UNLV will start this drive. The offense out there ready to go. Already a solid start to this one. Now back to work with this 7-0 lead. The run inside. It's Thomas. They didn't get a push at all on that one. It'll be no gain on the play. Working well behind the sticks on second down. Back to pass. Now he's going to break the pocket. Gain of 8 is now 3rd and 2.
It's just so nice to have a QB under center. Nowadays in football, you can trust these guys. You put so much on their plate, and you tell them, go get positive yards when it's there. And a lot of these guys are such great athletes, they do it with ease.
It's complete to the right. He's out across the 40, out of bounds at the 41, and execution continues to be key.
Well, they pick up the first against zone coverage. I think a big part of this for young quarterbacks out there is if you're going to be throwing into zone coverage, you got to throw on time. You can't stare down receivers because the entire defense has their eyes on you, so you can't telegraph where the ball's going. You've got to hold it to the very last possible second. Try to freeze defenders with your eyes and then throw the ball into open areas of the field, anticipating where your guy's going to be.
Keeping it on the ground inside. It's Thomas. Just enough room to gain a couple down to the 34.
I think there's a couple schools of thought in how you run the football and how you throw the football. Like some people say, I run the football to set up the throw, right? To get people aggressive. But this offense kind of took it the other direction, right? They came out throwing the football, now soften them up. Now let's see if they can start to get that ground game going.
Could be an alley. Drag down, but they'll move the sticks for a first down. The Rebels come to the line with a fresh set of downs thanks to that last connection in the passing game. They make the stop. Not a whole lot of ground picked up there, and they'll have work to do to get the first down. Well, will they dial up on second and a long way to go? Looking to fire. Quarterback adapting. He's going to take off. Had to start that slide a little early, and he'll be short of the first down.
These are the plays that don't show up in the stat books, right? Like a great job. Look at him. He does an awesome job. Instead of taking the sack, clearly wanted to throw the football, scrambles around, gets some positive yards. It doesn't go down as a huge gain, but these are the plays that get you W's.
Guys, that's the end of the quarter, and UNLV has the edge. We put one in the books. Let's have a look at our game summary. So they go back to work after the break, and it is third down. He'll try to get to the marker himself. It's a fumble. It's as if that ball had a magnet going back to the offense. How in the world did they keep it? And the Rebels back to the line on first down. Let's see if they keep leaning on this running game. Wide receiver comes in motion. Touchdown, Rebels. And they add 6 more to the board with that trip to the house.
Now, after starting the season 0-1, this offense felt like they just left plays on the field in that first game. But so far today, they're taking advantage. QB's making good decisions. Guys are stepping up. They've limited the mental mistakes. They haven't turned the football over. It's a different-looking offense here in Game 2.
So the offense, more than happy with the result of the play, will decline the penalty. Looks as if the returner will try and field this one. Really disciplined job by the coverage unit to get down there and make the stop at the 19. Hawaii has it back as they send the offense onto the field. Now we'll get a chance to see if they can answer that last score, trailing by 14, Jesse.
Yeah, and at this point of the game, I feel like offensively, you should go back to what's been working.
He wants to go deep. And that'll be incomplete. They tried to hit him with a big one on first down. Behind the chains now on 2nd and long. Pulls it on the option. Powers through the defender. Oh, he just handled it poorly, and it's a fumble. Recovers the fumble, and he's on the move. He'll go out of bounds, but a solid pickup on the run. Boy, could they use a conversion on 3rd and short from their own 24. Throws for the tight end. Intercepted. A first-half turnover can swing momentum. And they'll close in on him after a good return on the interception. Couldn't ask for better starting field position for this offense. Unloads quickly. The ball is down at the 14 after that grab. Going to work in the red zone. They can't pick up the first down without getting it into the end zone. Running inside. It's Thomas. He's tackled right at the 10-yard line, and they're trying to cash in on this drive. The terrain gets rough this deep in the red zone. 3rd down. They can pick up the first without scoring. Quick pass to the left, trying to get it to the marker. The stop is made, but this offense is threatening. 1st and goal from the 9. This offense in scoring position with a fresh set of downs. They'll try to get it in with the run. He's brought down at the 7-yard line, and they are threatening to take it in. Defense rose up deep in its own end on that last play. Now a 2nd and long coming. He'll run it to the middle, looking for the end zone. He's brought down at the 6, but the defense feeling the heat to make a stop here.
And this offense trying to be physical inside the 5-yard line. I get it, but I tell you what, Palmer, this quarterback has earned some trust from me with the day he's had.
Yeah, right now he's thinking, put the game in my hands. I'm playing well, and I'm seeing the defense well. I see what they're doing from a coverage standpoint. Count on me to throw a touchdown here and help out our team.
Taken down just short of the sticks, but the offense still within scoring range on 4th down. They'll have to settle for a field goal attempt. The distance is no problem, but this angle from the left can test you. Didn't make them sweat at all. It's good. And that will extend their lead even further.
And you want a touchdown and you want to be aggressive, but man, right down the middle, that obviously gives me some confidence down the road that I can trust this guy.
Not a lot of space to be found. Good hustle by the coverage team, and they stop him at the 21. Hawaii ready to go back to work on offense. After giving up that score, now it's incumbent on this offense to kind of get a back and forth going, Jesse, in this game.
They got to put some points on the board here. There's obviously a lot of football to go, so it's not necessarily panic time just yet, but I'm getting the ball into the hands of my best playmakers on this drive.
I hear you, Jesse, but not panic time. Have you seen my defense? I mean, I'm not trusting them to get a lot of stops, so it puts a lot of pressure on this offense.
That pass not close as he got drilled trying to deliver it, and it'll bring up 4th down. And the Rainbow Warriors will try to pin them back with the punt. They'll have to punt for the first time this afternoon. Makes the catch, wants to make a move upfield. The pursuit and coverage was there, and they swarm him under for no gain. They've got a little time here to put together a productive drive late in the half. They'll start this drive going to the air. Makes the grab. It's Burnett. They stop him almost immediately. Short gain there, and still a little ground to cover to pick up the first. And the Rebels with a 2nd and short to keep this drive moving. working that left side now. And it's a first down. They'll mark it at the 44. Down to 2 minutes before the half, and they'll take the timeout and see if they can add a little more before the break. Now they'll line it up from the 44 on 1st and 10. Wants to throw it again. Quickly out to the tight end.
I like this tight end. He does a really nice job on his route running. He's been beating man coverage. He can find the soft spots and zones. You got to get him involved.
The run inside. It's Thomas. And the defense snows him under after a very short gain. 3rd and 6 yards to go. From the gun, wants to pass. Extending the play. That'll be enough for the first down as they stop him at the 43-yard line. The Rebels come to the line with a fresh set of downs. Looking to throw on first down. Makes the catch. It's Thomas. Caught, and he's close to a first down on the nice pickup there. Now we got a timeout taken by the Rebels. That's their first. They'll have 2 left to work with before the half. Let's see what they've got on second down. Motion from the wideout. Gonna run it. It's Thomas. And they'll stop him just short of the first down, just inches away from moving the sticks. The Rebels come to the line trying to find a way to convert on 3rd and very short. Good pickup there. He gets enough for the first down. Timeout taken by the offense is their second. And they'll still have 1 in their pocket for what's left in this first half. And the Rebels pounded the rock to move the sticks, now back to work. Wants to throw on first down. And they dialed up a shot play, but they couldn't make the connection. So now it's 2nd and long. Back to pass. Catch in the middle, it's Thomas. And the completion gives him a fresh set of downs and keeps this drive moving. And the Rebels racing to the line in the hurry-up. They're threatening to score, and they'll throw it. They're working that left side. That completion takes them down to the 7-yard line, and they are ready to strike. 1 more snap coming before juice boxes and orange slices. They'll use a timeout right before halftime. Maybe time for 1 or 2 more plays. They've decided to try to go for the field goal here. Right on target the first time. Now he'll try another from 24 yards out. Splits the uprights right down the middle. And they'll push that lead out a little further.
And listen, y'all know in the booth and everywhere how I feel about kickers. Don't always love leaving it on their foot, so to speak, but nice job executing. He keeps doing stuff like that. I'll keep trotting him out there.
That's going to wrap up the first half here, and now we join Kevin with the halftime update. He'll put toe to leather and get this second half started. He'll start the return inside his 5. And he's able to pick his way through the traffic nicely for a good return on that one before he's brought down. The Rainbow Warriors offense comes out ready to go on the attack. Got it set up on the outside. And it's pretty obvious there was a big hole in that screen, and the defense ran right through it. The Rainbow Warriors with a long way to go after the loss on the last play. Picks up a useful 5-yard chunk out to the 30-yard line. 3rd down, and this offense is already in a world of trouble. They could really use a conversion, not to mention multiple scores. Makes the grab on the left. They'll make the stop about 3 yards short of the first down. A famous writer once said most men lead lives of quiet desperation. Here is a desperate move, going for it on 4th down, trailing by double figures. Incomplete pass, and the defense comes up big and they take over. This offense has it with really good field position. Reads it, fires complete. Brought down at the 21-yard line, a 15-yard pickup, and they are in prime position to get points now. Keeping it on the ground inside, it's Thomas. Dropped after a pickup of 4 down to the 16. Solid pickup of 4 on first down. It's 2nd and 6. Looking to fire. Makes the grab. Now the connection takes it to the 11. He's just winning that matchup in the slot every time.
And when you put him in the slot, Reese, he's closer to the quarterback. It's an easier throw. We can run in, we can run out, and really take advantage of his versatility.
There's a crease. Touchdown, Rebels! And the beatdown has ensued.
And this offense has really responded after last week. Last week, man, the hardest thing to do in college football is to go on the road and win. Come back home, you feel confident, you're in your routine, have answered the bell, took charge of this game late, and looking to go 1-0 this week.
He'll try to tack on one more. The kick is up and good and put one more on the lead. Quick work on that scoring drive, just 4 plays. And it was punctuated by an 11-yard run for the score. And he'll bring it back. He was looking for some running room, but not much to be found as he stopped at the 18. The Hawaii offense returns to the field. Off the play fake on first down to throw. Gets rid of it. And that one had some juice on it, but it's incomplete. They're dealing with a 2nd and long. Misfired on the last play. They'll go back to the air. Got rid of it in a hurry, but he couldn't find his man. It's incomplete. Need 10 yards on this 3rd down, and they're backed up inside their own 20. From the gun, wants to pass. Escapes the pressure going right. He'll pull it down. Quarterback gets the first down. He'll step out of bounds right at the 35-yard line, and maybe they've got something cooking. And the Rainbow Warriors come to the line with a new set of downs. Trying to escape and get it himself. Can't find his man as he took a shot trying to deliver that football, and it'll be 2nd down. Couldn't make the connection last time. Let's see if they throw it again. To the air on 2nd down. Going downfield for the big play. Makes the grab down the left side. Runs through a man, and he might have space. And that tackle almost certainly saved a touchdown after he ripped off a huge gain. This offense hasn't found the end zone yet. Starting to move. It's first rush coming in hot, and they got him at the 29. That last sack got them behind the sticks. It's 2nd and long here. Back to pass. Looking to the big tight end. He caught it. Stopped at the 3, but it'll be enough to give them a 1st and goal. Now we get a timeout taken by the Rebels. That's their first. And that will leave them with just 2 timeouts to use the rest of the way. The Rainbow Warriors trying to cash it in on 1st and goal. A designed run for the quarterback. Nothing doing, and he was lucky to get back to the line of scrimmage at 2nd and goal. Tune in to the Ocho. 8th play of the drive coming up. 2nd down, he'll throw it. Nowhere close on that one as he got drilled trying to deliver the football, and now they face 3rd down. If this defense can come up with a stop here, they will take a giant step toward winning this game. Got his man on the outside. He is stopped well short of the 1st down, but they are still in field goal range, assuming they send the kicker out there. They'll go to the air. Fires into the end zone. Touchdown, Rainbow Warriors. Fired in from the red zone for the score.
With that last touchdown now, they're trying to create some momentum. They're trying to avoid starting the season 0-1. They know they've got a lot of work to do here in the second half, but you should be feeling pretty good about that last score. Now you've got to keep that up.
He's looking to pass. He'll get in there as they draw 2 points closer.
UNLV 27, Hawaii 8.
Here he comes from inside his own 5. Didn't find any crease in that kickoff coverage, and he'll be stopped at the 17. They'll get this drive going from the 17. And he can't connect on the throw. It's incomplete.
In football, you hear the term quick, but don't hurry. And you could tell when you run these RPOs, the QBs want to make that decision quick. And I think he hurried it a little bit too much. Got the ball out quick, but obviously was inaccurate with his pass.
Can't make the grab. Quarterback just missed him a little bit. Gonna have to come up with a play on 3rd and 10 from inside their own 20. From the gun, wants to pass. Complete to the right. He'll have the first down as he gets it to the 28-yard line before he stops. Here's this offense with a fresh set of downs. Makes the grab. He's brought down, but he went backwards after that completion, not the way they had it drawn up. They'll snap it from the 25 here on 2nd and long. Looking to fire. Right down the middle. And the throw down the gut falls to the grass. Probably the toughest call on the play sheet. 3rd and long. Ball's at the 25. Looking to throw, and he needs a chunk play. Working on the right. They'll get him on the ground at the 46, and it'll be a first down.
To be honest, I think the quarterback was a little bit surprised himself at the play call that came in that time. You've got a 3-possession lead here in the 3rd quarter of this game. You're probably expecting some short throws, some runs, and this play caller is still asking for shot plays. And listen,
Makes a grab and room to run. Gets it all the way down to the 39-yard line. It'll be a first down. When you play receiver for this guy, you better be ready to catch the football. He spread it all over the place through the first 3 periods. So first down will open up the final period. Running inside, it's Thomas.
and here's the mindset if you're on offense. 4th quarter, you've got a huge lead. Obviously, you're going to run the football, but just be aware of the clock. You don't want to snap it too quickly. You're probably just doing safe runs inside the tackles like you saw right there. You just got to execute. You got to be aware, but you've got this game in hand so long as you don't turn it over.
The Rebels go back to work after moving the chains through the air. To the air on first down. It's complete to the left. They'll spot the ball at the 12 after that completion. The Rebels getting set on 1st and 10. Oh, not able to hold his water, and the offense will have it stepped off against them. The officials offer the deal, and the coach accepts it. They will take the penalty. So frustrating for an offense to just give away yards with false start penalties. They'll try it on the ground, running the counter. He's stopped at the 14-yard line, and they'll stay on the attack from there. It'll be second down, and remember, they can pick up a first without scoring. Now on the option. He's dragged down at the 12 as they try to cash in on this red zone opportunity. And they've converted their first 2 third-down opportunities, but a third and long is a different animal. From the gun, wants to pass. He's got it and still on his feet. He's stopped just short of the goal line, but they'll have it first and goal from the 1. And the Rebels, after moving the sticks through the air, come to the line. They'll run it on first and goal. Touchdown, Rebels! And the punishment has been extended.
And how about this offense? Another scoring drive. Great job. They seem to be in a much better rhythm than they were a week ago. They're 0-1. Lost week 1. They could have got down on themselves. I like the way they bounced back. Now they're going to be 1-1 with this performance.
On the move from inside his 5. Brings a return out across the 25. Gets a couple of extra yards. He's stopped at the 27-yard line. Hawaii will get things going as their offense makes its way onto the field. Here's a heat. Sliding to his left. Breaks into the open. A huge play, and they get it all the way to the 45-yard line. Offense getting set for first down. Looking to throw. Got his man on the right. Could not make his way to the corner. Plenty of work to do here on second and long. Back to pass. Oh, he's going to try to hit him over the top. And this is dropped. Incomplete pass. He had a huge gain in his fingers, and he couldn't hold on. They couldn't connect on second down. Now staring at a 3rd and 9. Throws to the tight end. Another incompletion on 3rd down.
And it's just been that kind of day for this quarterback and this offense, guys. They have never been able to get into a rhythm throwing the football. Timing's been off. Accuracy hasn't been great. We've seen some drops, just not in sync. And that's why they find themselves trailing by a lot right here late in the game.
Snags it, and there's running room. Inside the 20-yard line. Pushed out at the 18, and they're in business. And the Rainbow Warriors come to the line with a fresh set of downs thanks to that last connection in the passing game. Under fire. Got him for the sack. This defense turning up the intensity. Plenty of distance between them and the sticks here on second down. Looking to fire. Here comes the heat. Nowhere close on that one as he got drilled trying to deliver the football, and now they face 3rd down. We'll see if the offense can move the chains after that incompletion. Rushes on him. Got his man down the middle. He's going to come up about 5 yards short of the line to gain. Down by multiple possessions. You can't come up empty on this drive. They'll go big tight end. Makes the grab. It's a first down. And he strides his way into the end zone. Touchdown, Hawaii. A score for the big fella here. Why are tight ends so effective in the red zone?
Well, these aren't the guys that are going to burn by you and go for 70 most of the time, but when you can use their big-bodied frames, threaten them to run the football and be a blocker in the running game, and now you slip them in the secondary, make that big play.
Nice job by the kickoff team. Everybody stayed in their lanes, and they'll stop him at the 16. UNLV will start this drive as the offense is out there and ready to cook. This offense has really been clicking in the game so far, Jesse.
No doubt. Everything their play caller is dialing up, these guys offensively have been able to go out and execute, David.
Yeah, and it's just maintaining the lead. Keep doing what you've been doing. You got a big lead. Let's just keep piling it on until they find an answer.
Backed up now. Here's second and long. The give and tick, 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 tick. After that one, not quite so backed up as they're up to the 18-yard line. They've got to come up with a big play on this 3rd and long. Keeps it himself. He works his way to the 21-yard line, not enough to pick up the first down. The Rainbow Warriors call timeout. That's their first. Gives him a little time to dig deep in the play sheet and figure out what to do on fourth down. Punt is in the air. Makes the catch at the 30. Little pressure on the coverage team there, and they'll stop him at the 47-yard line. Hawaii has it back as they send the offense onto the field. This has been a really disappointing performance, David, no question about that, but they can find some positives.
Yeah, and every time you watch the tape, you know, Jesse, coaches are pointing out, look at this. This was open if we'd have just ran the details to the right route, hung on to the football. Little things can make a big difference.
Yeah, that's why they call it a game of inches, David. But I'll say this, if you're on offense, don't go on social media this week. It ain't going to be pretty after this performance. You've got to lock in. You got to take the week of practice very seriously and find those positives that you can build off, David, that you're talking about.
Clock is still running, and they have to get everybody lined up. Looking downfield on first down. Moving out to the right. Outside the pocket, lets it go. And they weren't able to make the connection. They were looking for an explosive play. Try to make up for some of that lost ground on second down. They'll throw again after the incompletion. Using his legs, keeping his eyes downfield. Nowhere close on that one as he got drilled trying to deliver the football, and now they face third down. And now this offense will try to overcome that second down incompletion. Trying to move the sticks on third down through the air. He's missed 3 in a row now with that last incompletion. And guys, hold that thought just a second, because here comes the fourth down play. If they don't get it here, this one is probably over. He's got it, first down and more. He's brought down, but not before he picks up the first down on a gutsy call to keep this drive alive. From the red zone, looking for a space. And it's picked off for the third time today. Nice pickup on the return, but more important, they got the takeaway, and now they're in business. And after this play, the cake will be baked. And they'll take a knee, the universal symbol for we have this thing in hand. This is why the passion of college football runs so deep. The rivalries, and when you lose, man, does it stick with you.
No doubt about it, Reese. This was a game circled for a very, very long time. They knew how important this one was. But, David, you can't let games like this beat you twice.